What's up? Welcome back to Patel Trades. I'm Caton, and yeah, I've taken a few days off from daily uploads, which I'm going to go through here, but we have still been trading. I recently came across JdubTrades on YouTube, and just the algorithm put his live stream, pre-market live streams that he does for free every morning. They're like 40 minutes long. That popped up on my homepage and what interested me was that he, like in the title, it was, SPY, Qs, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, options, pre-market live streaming. So I was like, let me check this out. So yeah, he goes through all his charts and marks levels of support and resistance, like things I'm already doing, and I'm not there to just copy, but more reaffirm what I'm doing. I found that very helpful going into the end of last week, and thought a lot of his free content, which I'll link his page in the description. His free content is really amazing too. So I was like, I'm gonna join this crew's premium Discord, which is actually a partnership between him and Scarface Trades. These two 20-year-old guys, mid 20-year-old guys that are just killing it, and through experience, and so I have not been recording my morning streams because I'm following along with them, and we're all just watching the same charts, and on trades that I might have gotten into early or too aggressively, or both, I'm learning to have better patience and learn when and why to enter. So that's where I'm at. What you're looking at is our September update, as you can kind of see, leading into the end of last week, and coincidentally, if you will, coming across JdubTrades last weekend. I had just had a blow up week. The week before, I was being really systematic coming into September. I'm talking about September now because I don't think I've done many videos. But basically, an update is that I was being pretty systematic. Really high win percentages for the profit I was getting as well. This was just a quick click stupid trade on the turbo trader, but it definitely was a hit, and I think I came into this day wanting to make up for it, I think. Anyways, yeah, this day was a bad day. As you can see, 0% win on 4 trades, really 0% on the first 2 days, and $400 down. Just reading things wrong and or getting stopped out too early. Getting stopped out too early was a big one. And something I learned from Trades is the 84% rule. If you read a trade and it stops you out and then goes back to the same level, right? Doesn't drop to a new level, but essentially goes back to the same level, retests the level that you were entering at. You could enter in that same trade and have an 84% success rate, which I think a lot of us newbies lose money, and then you completely change strategy or direction, or maybe you're like, oh, you got stopped out on a call, and then so you aggressively get into a put, but then it retests, and it's just this whole fucking mess. So yeah, September, as you can see here, pretty tough week. Whoa. Pretty tough week, and it will hopefully get better. As you can imagine, this was a pretty big drawdown on my account size, so I came into this week with a system, right? I'm part of a group that I paid for, which I thought was a pretty fair rate. Try it out for a couple months. Hopefully it helps. Anyways, I don't have videos yet of the first 3 days this week, so I think what I'm going to end up doing is just doing recap videos of what we did. And I mean, based on the activity, it might just be weekly videos for now. and hopefully the activity picks up as I become more proficient and can do daily videos. I just don't want to do live streams and record their discords. So, but I'm happy to share my results and promote them because those guys, JdubTrades and and Scarface Trades, are legit. They definitely know what they're talking about. And we can jump into I'm not really going to go through all these other ones. I'm sure there's videos of this last week up there on YouTube. So we'll just jump into what happened. We'll start with Monday. I'm going to go into my TradeZilla here. This is my stats for the week. And, oh yeah, that's right. So stats for the week, up $111, which is 20% almost of where the account started. And, seeing a lot of positive aspects to this trading, even though it's only $111 in 3 days. All these other metrics are really what I like to see because if you can replicate these metrics over and over again, this dollar size doesn't matter. All you have to do is scale your trade size and you'll essentially get the same amount. And I know that sounds pretty simple, but it's like the confidence and the patience and the risk and emotion and trade management that all goes into it. So anyways, that's where we're at. It's nice to see positive green numbers, 100% win. Mostly pursuing 15% returns on these contracts, and both Monday and today had some pretty good opportunities to make money on runners, but we're just watching and seeing and letting our systems play out. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump into Monday. There we go. So I took 2 trades, 2 winners, 2 small trades. To start my day, I usually mark all the charts with previous day highs and lows, Asia market highs and lows, London market trading session highs and lows. And so I just mark it all here, and then I kind of know what levels I would maybe want to be targeting. So mentally, I have an idea of where we're going to be shooting for. If we pursue a particular stock and it's moving a certain way. These are my notes on my plan, and then just kind of notes I give myself. I guess I didn't save, but anyways, you want to see the trades. Here they are. So, first trade, I got in a little late. I need to stop watching the option price after I've decided to make the move because the move happens. The contract price shoots up and I buy in late. Still made profit, but not nearly as much if I got in at 270. So I heard on the Discord, we're all watching Tesla. All right, Tesla calls. Let's get in. Let's ride. By the way, if you're not using TradeZilla to journal your trades, you will never become profitable. If you're not using TradeZilla to journal your trades, I think it's going to be difficult. I'm new, but I'm biased, but it just captures everything. Okay, so I got in at 310 and I got out at 325. So I made $15, 4.84%. So not bad, Monday, choppy market, whatever. The issue is I decided to buy this call when the price of the call was around 270. And what happened was I decided to purchase the call. So I switched to my screen where I do my where I buy the contract and can watch the price. And instead of just clicking the button because I knew I was going to do this, I waited, and it shot from 270 up to 290 to 3. And I was like, fuck, I don't really want to do this, but I did. So I got in, and obviously it went down, but I just held to my guns, and it went back up, and I took a modest profit. And I had one contract. Had I had a second one, this thing ran up to 399. So you can see from 399, from 310, could have had a nice 20% or so, But anyways, that was kind of the first day trading with the group and listening in while kind of doing my own thing, and I walked away profitable. And then, I noticed some other things. Well, let me back up a little bit. Sorry. A lot of the guys in the group, including the mentors, had contracts from last week on Tesla. So this pop that happened as soon as the market opened, they were all like sitting in profit, just selling off. So they were also advising on people to get in, as they were probably adding to for the day, but they were also getting out. So it wasn't as much direction, but there were also really good notes, and I could see that QQQ was making a move after some morning bounce and retest. So got in this one, got out of this one for 16%, and whoa. I am not. The only thing I don't like, I think I put in the notes here, I was right. Sold for no reason but emotion. Really need to have confirmation to sell. We're in a fucking bull market and the highs were coming. So we're in a bull market. Like, there's no reason to try to call the top. I have no idea what's going on. I know is that we're going up. So don't get scared. And the other thing is, I watch the options contract price instead of watching the damn 5-minute candle because there wasn't a 5-minute candle closure until that really should have made me be concerned at all. This thing ran up to double by 9 o'clock, and by the end of the day it even ran up way even further had I held some runners. So we made a good profit, but sold at 8:27 a.m. had I held till, let's say, 9:27 a.m., which I had to go to work by then. But there was enough time to, set this thing at 80 cents, which is a 25 or 30% profit, 30-cent profit, which is 30, yeah, I don't even know. It's a little late. But over 50% profit, yeah. So 60% profit. And just let it ride. So these are things I learned. These are all things I learned. Monday, made profit. Tuesday, super choppy day. Nothing happening in the market. The guys in my group, these mentors, they made on Monday, they made 50 grand, 17 grand. Okay? Where I made, 40? Which is great. On this day where I made 30, they made 100 and 400, which was kind of crazy. But we all took the same trade. Again, this was one I think I could have got in a little bit early, but I clicked the button, I just fucking set it. I committed to the trade, and it did its thing, and we got out, and there was nothing else to do. I would actually rank that 4. So I'm going to see if I did these other ones. Little bitty stars. Yeah, I did. Okay, so that was that. Just a quick trade, $30 in and out. Literally took the trade at 7:44. I was done trading at 7:55. 25 minutes of trading for $30. Or, whoops, that was the wrong one. I was out at 7:49.50, so 20 minutes of trading for $30. And then there is today. Today was a pretty okay day. More Tesla runner. I didn't add notes here, but the notes I would probably are going to add are something like I was debating getting 1 or 2 contracts because the contract price was $2.90. So, 2 contracts was basically a lot of my account value. And I don't even know what I'm doing here. Wait a minute. Sorry, I'll do this later. Or we could do it together. Show you what it does for you here. I bought it at $2.90 and what the fuck? Whoa. 334. Can do that. $2.465. There we go. So there we go. I got a little bit better of a return. I was gonna buy one contract, two contracts, wasn't sure. Obviously, it was like back and forth. When I got in and it dipped, I was like, good thing I got one. Then it went up and I sold, and I was like, fuck, I wish I had two. And then obviously when it ran to, up to $390, like $100 a contract, look, it hit $399 right there, 57. I had to wait. If I waited 5 more minutes, I would have made another $60. So this one hit my TP, so I'm not worried about it. The lesson is that if I had had a second contract, I could run. But based on the price of the contract, which I wanted a closer to the money contract so that I could get, I wanted a contract with a strike price closer to the money because I wanted the pop out of Tesla to hit. So that was a trade-off. Get a better pop, didn't get as many contracts. Live to trade another day, probably better. But check this out. Then I'm watching Tesla, and it's like, it's reclaiming that level, and it eventually did, but it took fucking all morning, and then pretty much later in the day it did. What is going on here? There we go. See, later in the day it did what I was thinking it was going to do. And this thing made a little more money. But anyways, basically what happened is I had my fucking finger on the turbo trader on Webull. I don't know if you know what that looks like. It's fucking epic in some ways. It's right here. So as soon as if you're geared up to have 2 contracts, you got your profit, stop loss all set, and you're right here. As soon as you click that button, it places your order, and with you placing an order within the bid and ask spread, you're gonna get hit. And so pretty much as soon as you click that button, you're getting the strike price, unless you're getting it to strike, unless you're really high or above. So that happened. I freaked out. Luckily, I got out. I thought I had a small profit or break even, but I lost $2, which sucks. But I guess, all things considered, $2 loss compared to all of these losses, which were recorded, is nothing. And, it did bring my trade percent close rate down. But anyways, that's where I'm at. So we are moving and grooving into the last few trading days of September. Got 4 trading days here left. If I can, I'm not focusing on price. I'm more focusing on looking at the price action and making a good call. That make a good trade. The trade, they enter and exit correctly, meaning did the trade move where I thought it was going to. And you're going to be wrong sometimes, or maybe you get stopped out a little more and then you got to get back in, so hopefully you can earn it back on those days, but I don't know if I'm there yet. So anyways, yeah, we'll do an update video at the end of the week, and then an update video for the end of September. JdubTrades, check them out. Would love to see you in the Discord, because everyone in there's got the same freaking goal, and that's just to make money and learn this game that we're so blessed to be able to learn to play. So if you're watching, thank you, and have a great night, and don't forget to like and subscribe.